On the edge of a lonely country road, beneath silver sheets of rain, a small brown dog waited. Its fur, matted and shivering with cold, clung tightly to thin ribs and aching limbs. Every passing car sent a rush of wind that stirred a hope buried deep inside the dog's chest. A hope that somehow its owner might return, might beckon with an outstretched hand, whispering soft forgiveness for whatever mistake had warranted this cruel abandonment. But night after night, the dog returned to the same patch of grass, its paws muddy and belly empty. Hunger gnawed at its sides, and the ache of longing pressed heavy on its heart. Through thunder and the chilling summer rains, it stood sentinel, watching the familiar road, straining to catch any scent or sound that could mean home. Days blurred together, punctuated only by the rumble of distant engines and the deepening silence of each dusk. The world spun around the little dog, but it remained rooted by loyalty and sorrow. Then, one soft morning, the rain gave way to golden light, and footfalls sounded along the roadside path. Elena, a young woman old enough to have known her own share of longing, was walking home from her night shift at the bakery. She glimpsed the muddy, trembling form curled beneath a dripping bush. She knelt and, speaking gently, offered her hand. The dog, hesitant but desperate, crept closer. His eyes, wide and plaintive, searched her face for any trace of the owner he'd lost. But Elena, with quiet patience, scooped him gently into her arms and carried him against her heart all the way home. Her apartment was modest, filled with the scent of warm bread and vanilla. She dried the dog, fed him scraps of quiche and fresh water, and named him Lucky. Yet even as she bathed his hurts and whispered comfort, Lucky spent his days pressed to the window, muzzle pressed to the cool pane, staring endlessly at the road outside. Weeks passed. Elena brought toys and treats, took Lucky on gentle walks, and spoke to him kindly. She gave him space and time, never hurrying his wounded heart. Slowly, Lucky's ribs became padded with new strength, and his tail began to wag, at first timidly, then, with time, exuberant. One afternoon, as the sun slanted through the window, Elena sat beside Lucky, her hand resting lightly on his back. For a moment, Lucky looked to the window, gaze tracing the empty road, but then, uncertain, he turned to look at Elena. In that quiet space, Lucky saw a new promise, not the old life he had mourned, but a gentle future offered by arms that held him safe. The ache in his chest softened, replaced not by forgetting, but by hope. And so, at last, Lucky pressed his side against Elena's, feeling the warmth of her love. In the rhythm of her breath and the hush of her voice, he learned that sometimes new love could be just as warm, maybe even warmer, than the love he had lost.